Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm Sam.
Isaac.
This is Drop Motorsports.
This is Barney.
What's up, guys? It's Isaac here today. We're working on the turbo Civic. I got a pretty big rat's nest in here of wiring that I feel like cleaning up. And like I have no fuses going to any of this wire. I got one fuse coming off my main power here. And I want to clean it all up and make a fuse block and just make it look all nice and hopefully it don't start on fire. That's the main goal here. But we're going to be working on this underneath the loft.
Where'd your dashboard go?
Trash can. Alright, so I'm going to try to record as much of this as possible, but mostly it's just clipping a bunch of zip ties and it's like 6 or 7 10 mils, maybe holding a couple grounds. There's one 10 mil holding this on. These are all my grounds here, and like pretty much just zip ties, and then pop the steering column. I might just take it all out from the floor. I'll probably end up showing that. But most of it's just zip tied together, so it's just going to be popping a bunch of zip ties. Okay, well that was super crappy, but I got most of the the rat's nest out of here, and I'm about to drop the steering column. Alright, so progress update. I don't know how well you can see me because it's dark as shit. But I got the steering column out. I got most of the wiring unmixed, matched, and jumbled around. I really screwed myself over doing all this wiring, and I honestly confused crap out of myself. I don't know what I did half the time, but I'm gonna try to get all this figured out. It seems like a lot. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm gonna give her a go because I think this looks like crap. So,
Alright, what's up, guys? So I don't know where I really left off.
I'm pretty sure I was pulling the wiring out of the dashboard, but I got everything out, pretty much. I don't know how well you can see that, but I got the whole bash bar, or the knee bar out, the whole steering column, my switches, I got the ECU there on the floor, and then I pulled the whole main body harness out, the whole fuse box and wiring harness right here. Okay, so right now I kind of got my wiring harness laid out, but I'm gonna cut all this apart and label everything that I know what it is and try to make it all run where I want to run it instead of the stock way.
Look at this.
What about it, dude?
I mean, Jesus.
I just got it all like mocked up with the fuse panel here with all the relays and the switches. Alright guys, so this video's been kind of all over the place, but I didn't film it, but I got my knee bar back in and my whole, pretty much mocking up my dashboard here so I can try to get all my wires ran. Like I know when I started I had a rat's nest, and now I got even more of a rat's nest, but trying to organize it, trying to see what I have to extend and what I can shorten to make it all tuckable pretty much. kind of hard to film all this because it takes a while and it's really tedious. And I know you guys don't want to see wiring all day because it's really boring and it just takes forever.
Oh yeah. Don't ever weld your seats in. Do it. It's fun. Seats out, extending and rerouting wiring to make it all cleaner. Moved all his gauges to one spot because they were all scattered around.
So I got all my harness extended. Now all I have to do is put split wrap all over it and run it the way I want to run it. But I got it all cleaned up and extended, so that should be enough to run from here all the way up to there. And then I'm going to clean up all that rat's nest up there probably sometime next week when I have time. Got most of it all cleaned up. Probably can't see crap because the lighting is crap. But I'm just in the process of cutting the zip ties, and then I want to get the bash bar all bolted back up, get the radio in. I also moved my fuzz buster from up here to down here. Just thought it looked better, but yeah, it's pretty much a mess in here right now. Maybe probably later I'll clean it out. I think I have enough time today to clean her out, and I'm gonna work on getting the seat back in. All right, so I got it all cleaned out. Seat's back in. The struggle is real. Everything works. Cleaner than what it was. So today's project, since I got all the wiring done on the interior, I got the Civic pulled out from under the loft so I can jack it up enough to pull the axles out and everything else I need underneath, because I'm going to pull the motor out. It's got a little bit lower oil pressure than I would like, and I'm not going to replace the oil pump itself. I've seen it a couple times on YouTube, but you just add a couple shims to your piston and your oil pump. I'll show you, I'll explain it when I get to it, but instead of jacking it up and laying under the car, I'm just going to tear the whole motor out because I've done it 2-3 dozen times and it's super easy for me. I'll probably get it out realistically about an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. The only thing that's off right now is the bumper. I'm going to start with the intercooler piping, start draining the fluids. Well, first I'm going to jack it up and get the axles out, but I got to drain the transmission to do that. Alright, so right now I got all the fluids draining. Real fun stuff. Now I'm about to start. I already got these loose here with my big impact. And then I just take off the upper control arm and this brake line just to get it out of the way. Then it pulls all out. Then you can yank or hit the axle out. I think you gotta take off the control arm or this fork for the coilover. Then you should be able to just pry the axles out of the transmission. Simple as that. I'm gonna try to set the camera up here and record as much as possible. I'm not going to film it, but I'm going to take that other side off. I'm going to put this side all back together so it can be a roller. Alright, so I got the axles all out. Now all I got to do is take my V-band clamp off the exhaust and drop, and then unplug my wideband sensor. And that should be it for underneath the car. Alright, so I got everything underneath the car done. Pull the radiator out, because now I got to take the turbo off. Which is easier said than done, because I don't know if you can see, but the feed line's kind of hard in there, so you pretty much got to take the whole turbo off and then disconnect the feed line. So it's kind of a two-person job. I might take the intercooler piping off first just so it's not all up in my way. Alright, so instead of struggling, I'm just going to take the whole core support off since I made it removable by hitting somebody. Just like I said, the turbo's kind of hard to take off by yourself. So I just keep this one bolt in here and then twist it so I can get the feed line off and then take it off.
Do you have this exhaust off yet?
Yeah, I disconnected the V-band already.
Oh, okay. Doing good, bud. Oh, this is getting boring. Come on, Rook.
Gotta go up to the top. But I usually go to the bottom. That massive turd skis.
Massive.
Alright, so I got most of it taken apart. Got all the wiring off to the side. The starter I just took off.
I'll do this. I'm just drunk. Starter's off. Goes right there in this hole. Boom. Starter's off. Wiring. Boom. Done. Is it all done?
Yeah. All I gotta do now is undo the mount and pull it out. Bullshit! I was hoping he all my color right there. I got the motor all out, sitting up on a stand now, so good starting point for tomorrow. Just got to clean up everything and I'm gonna head out for today and I'll get back to her tomorrow. Alright, so I got my oil pan all off, and all you got to do to raise the oil pressure is take this off and add a shim to the piston. I'll show you when I got this out. Alright, so yeah, I got the plug out here for the piston on the oil pump, and then this just all slides out, and then I'm just going to take the spring out and I'll put a couple washers in here. I don't know exactly how many to put in. I'm just winging it with two. Just going to toss them in there, make sure they sit in there flat, throw it back in, easy as that. Got everything put away, just cleaned up everything, set her back under the loft for now, because now I'm waiting on parts. I need a new oil pan gasket, I'm getting a rear main seal, and then the driver's side upper control arm ball joint is shot. So I'm just going to get a whole new upper control arm. So I'm just waiting on parts right now. Alright, so I got mostly all my parts in for my Civic to get done. The only thing I'm waiting on is the upper control arm, which should be in the next 2 days here. But I got everything to put the motor back together. I got the oil pan gasket and the rear main seal. And then I also went and picked up an oil catch can kit. It just has two -10 AN fittings and then a little plug. Alright, so that you delete this little box here. There's just one bolt here, and that pulls off. I already pulled it out. And the one plug goes in there. And then there's the two fittings. There's a plug here and a plug here. They're just 14mm Allen keys. I already took those out though. So Basically just pop this sucker in there, thread these two into the other ones, and that's that. I'll throw the oil pan gasket on, get it off the stand, so I might be able to get the rear main seal, but I probably won't be able to pound it on. I can probably get it off, but I don't think I can get it back on the stand, so we'll see how that goes. So I got my oil pan and then my fittings for my oil catch can all on, and the little plug, so you can see where the plug goes and the fittings.
Hey, how late are y'all open?
And the sick Moroso oil pan I got. Alright, so I got it all put back together. Got the flywheel back on, clutch back on, transmission back on, obviously. You can see that. Right now she's just ready to get thrown back in the car. Alright, so it's getting pretty late tonight, so we're going to call it a night, but we got the whole motor in the car. Just the two side mounts are on right now. I still got to do the T-bracket in the back, but she's in there off the cherry picker and off the jack, so it's a good stopping point for today. So that's it. Alright, so that's it for this week on the Turbo Civic. I got the motor all back in. She's all plugged up, ready to go. All she needs right now are all the fluids, put the radiator and the front end all back on. If you could see this oil line and the turbo aren't on, you'll see why those aren't on yet later, but that's it for this week. And if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. I know it was kind of boring, but like, comment, subscribe, check out the new merch, and we'll see you guys next week with more sick content.